Hello and welcome back again. Well, today we will talk about the auxiliary verbs. The auxiliary verbs are always surrounding us when we talk, but have you ever wondered how are they? Why do we use them? Well, we will answer to that questions right now. First one, there are three main verbs that we will study. The first one is the verb to be. It has three functions. First one, it can work as an auxiliary verb, it can work as a modal verb, it can work as a linking verb. A linking verb provides information about the subject that we are talking about, and this information is provided by the subject. For example, Misty is the smallest dog on earth. She can even fit in my pocket. Or is my pocket too big? As you saw, the subject here is Misty, and the linking verb is the verb to be in the third person as singular. Is. The verb to be can be used also as an auxiliary verb. It can conjugate the progressive or continuous, and it can construct the passive voice. For example, my dog is sleeping right now. I was playing video games 15 minutes ago, but now I am doing my homework. As you saw, to make the progressive tense, you need the auxiliary verb, in this case the verb to be. It can be in its past form or in its present form, plus the present progressive of any verb you want. And maybe you are asking yourself, what is the passive voice? The passive voice is used by the people to emphasize in the object that receives the action instead of the subject that makes the action. For example, Pokemons are caught by the trainers. As you saw, to make the passive voice, we use the subject that receives the action, in this case the auxiliary verb, in this case the verb to be, and the main verb conjugated in his past participle. And then you put who performs the action, in this case by the trainer. The last function of the verb to be is as a modal verb, so it can express obligation and future. For example, horses are to carry humans. As you saw, it looks like the sentence is not complete. That's why this function of the verb to be is not always used. A better way to say this may be horses are expected to carry humans. And as I said, the verb to be in the function of a modal verb can be used to express future. I am to be sleepy today. And also this sentence may be expected to be like this. I am going to be tired today. And that's all for the verb to be. So now that you understand the verb to be, you are prepared to understand your favorite songs, like this one. I'm still standing. And now I will show you the structure of the verb to be. In the present we have three. Am, that is used for I, are, that is used for you, we, and they, and is, that is used for he, she, and it. In the past we have was y were. Was is used for I, he, she, it, and were is used for you, we, and they. And last but not less important, we have the present participle and the past participle. Another auxiliary verb is the verb do. It can be used as a main verb, as an auxiliary verb. As a main verb, it can be used of two ways: to express the event of carrying out an action and to replace a verb. For example, I do my homework at 3 a.m. As you saw, the subject is I, and the main verb is do. Do expresses that I am carrying out an action, in this case my homework. And as I said, the verb to be can replace a verb. In the example, instead of do, maybe a more specific verb could be complete. Another function of the verb to do is as an auxiliary verb. We use them always when we make negative and interrogative sentences in simple tenses. For example, a negative sentence could be I don't have water for my mate. The structure of a negative sentence is the auxiliary verb plus not and the main verb. An interrogative sentence with the auxiliary verb do may be, do you like Elden Ring? Yes, I do. The structure of this interrogative sentence is first the auxiliary verb do, the subject you, and the main verb like. And maybe if you are too crazy, you can make negative interrogative sentences. Don't you know that you will never be a Pokemon master? Shut up! As you saw, to make a negative interrogative sentence, you use this structure: the auxiliary verb do in its negative form, the subject, and the main verb. The structure of the verb do is quite easy, easier than the verb to be. For example, in the present there are two ways of the verb to be, do y das. Do is used for I, you, we and they, and das is used for he, she and it. In the past it is even easier, we have just did for everything, and in the present participle we have this, and the past participle we have this. That's all. And now you can say that you understand more of your favorite songs in English, like this one.
Yes, I have a good time, I don't want to stop at all. Yeah.
And finally we have the auxiliary verb, have. It has two functions, as a main verb and as an auxiliary verb. As a main verb it expresses ownership, possession and entitlement. For example, I have new glasses. I have 5 fingers in my right hand. I have a cold. As you saw, the order of this sentence is the subject, the verb, and the complement. And when we use the verb have as an auxiliary verb, we use it to construct perfect sentences. For example, for present perfect could be, I have enjoyed to make this video. Really. The structure of the present perfect is the verb, the auxiliary, have, and the main verb. And the main verb that is in its past participle form. And there is also the past perfect. For example, I had played League of Legends 10 years before my friends played it. It's true. As you saw, the structure of the past perfect is basically the same that the present perfect. You have the subject, the auxiliary verb have in its past form, and the main verb in its past participle form. The structure of the verb to have is also easy. In the present you have has for he, she, it, and have for I, you, we and they. In the past you have luckily just one, had, and there is the present participle, having, and the past participle, had. Yeah, it looks like the past. Another important thing to say about the verb have is that it can be used also in negative and interrogative sentences. Basically, it has the same structure of the verb to do. For example, I haven't lived in La Paz. Have you ever watched Breaking Bad? Yes, I have. Or again, negative interrogative sentences. Haven't you heard that noise? Also, another important thing is that the verb have has a short form when it is an auxiliary verb. You just need the subject, for example, I, an apostrophe, and VE. That is basically the have part of the verb have. And the way to pronounce it is I've. And now that you understand it, congratulations! You know even more songs in English, like this one. So, that's all. Thank you so much for joining me in this amazing trip of the auxiliary verbs. I hope that you really liked it, and if it is the case, I will appreciate your thumbs up. Goodbye!